How's it going, guys? My name is Maikya and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to be talking about the Galar Region Map. So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be going into Photoshop right here and I'm going to be basically breaking it down for you guys. So basically all the cities, the towns, the region, the kind of areas of interest, things that I certainly like about the region, things that were wrong, things that were right. So we're going to do a plethora of different things, so just be prepared. Just let me know what you guys think and whether I'm wrong, because I could well be, and I'll let you know some kind of theories behind what I'm thinking when I think things. So we'll get straight into it, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Right, so working from the top down, we can see that the top of the map is actually London. It's flipped. You can see Big Ben here, you can see the London Eye, you can see Wembley Stadium, you can see the Shard, which has been turned into a viewing tower essentially. You can also see what would be Buckingham Palace with the promenade. So we can kind of work that out and kind of judge that. So we can already label this pretty much London. So I'll do that whilst we're here. There we go. And I'll just resize that so we can see it a bit better. So this is London right here. Okay, so that makes it, in theory, if we flip it, I'll just show you a quick flip. So if we flip it vertically, then this is how Britain will be. So it's Scotland up here, going all the way down through the Midlands, down into the bottom of the country into London, okay? So that's basically the argument that has been created by a lot of people, is that the map is basically the UK flipped upside down, which it is, for the most part. So what we can do with this is we can basically work it out and say, well, where are things? So arguably, I would like to say that we'll go down over here. I would like to say this either over here, this forest, is either New Forest, which is near Dorset, I believe, or it is Sherwood Forest, which is the home of Robin Hood. As many of the other videos have mentioned, I'm sure you guys have watched them. Most people have said this is Sherwood, but it could well be New Forest, so we're going to leave that like that. And then we are going to say, arguably, I think that these are the Pennines. Either the Peak District or the Pennines, so I'd probably say the Pennines. Right here, this bit of rock, along with these as well, so these are all the Pennines. Okay, so we've got the Pennines, we've got London, we've got the New Forest, we've got Sherwood. Now over this rocky bit, I don't really know, to be honest. Now I know that this could be Wales as well though, you see, so I'll put that as well, because it could be Wales. It could well be. So we've got the Pennines or Wales. In the middle here, I think, to be honest with you, that this is either Windsor, because of the crown, and Windsor is where the royal family are actually from, or it could be, arguably, I'd like to say Manchester or something along those lines, but I don't think it is. And there's a reason for that. It just doesn't match up to what we would assume is Manchester. It just doesn't make much sense. I mean, it's industrious, but not industrious. It's kind of big castle, and it reminds me mostly of Windsor, so we're going to leave that one for now. Along here, I'm not 100% sure. I've seen people say Liverpool, I've seen people say other things. I think this landmark could just be representing Snowdon, for example, so I'll leave that as is. Over this side, I'd like to say I don't really know, because I don't really know some hilly regions on, if you flip it upside down, I don't know hilly regions on the east. So I can't really make that assumption. I know full well where this area is. I'd just like to say that this is this is Yorkshire, right here, which is where I'm from. So I'd like to say that. I'd like to say these low grounds here are the Midlands, arguably. And over here, on this bit here, this is Blackpool, because it's got like a lighthouse and it's, you know, it just makes sense. It's a coastal town on that side of the map, so it sort of makes sense. Possibly, I believe so. And then obviously up here, I believe this is personally Birmingham, based on the idea that there is a clock tower in Birmingham that's part of the university that looks very much like this. Although it could be argued that this is based on Edinburgh, but the problem is with that, if that's Edinburgh, then that means that these are going to have different things up here. So I don't think that's the case. For example, I think these lakes here are the Lake District. And this is all jumbled, it's not all 100%, so this could be Birmingham or Edinburgh. We'll put Edinburgh as well. And then I'll go through it all and explain mostly why. Now the funny thing is that this thing here, everyone thinks it's a railway. It's not a railway, it's a viaduct, so it's got a bit of water going across it, and it's basically an aqueduct, sorry, not a viaduct, and that's based in Wales, so actually, technically that means nothing. These mountain ranges here, that means nothing as well. That could well be the Pennines, that could be wrong down here, in saying that was the Pennines down here, so we don't know, you see. This is the difficult thing, is you can try and name it, but we don't actually know. Now these are the, what do we call it? What's the word? They're like the, I believe it's, I don't know what they call them, but I think they're like the lowland mountains, like I'll just call them Lower Scott Mountains, because basically, the Scots have the Highlands, then they have the Lower Scott Mountains, and this is obviously, so you've got Loch Ness there, obviously right there, and then obviously we've got like the upper bits of Scotland, rural Scotland, I'd say. Arguably, very arguably. We don't know for sure, you see. We can't pin it, and I believe that's mostly it in terms of everything. I'd say that's mostly it. I don't really know where that is. I can't really pinpoint that. I could have got that really wrong. That could be like Leeds here. This could be like the other side, so it'd be like Hull side direction, that sort of thing, or further down. It could be like Lincoln or something like that. I don't know, to be honest. And this other side could be Liverpool, but I don't really know, to be honest. I'm just speculating here. But from what I can see, I'd mostly say that what we've got is a pretty accurate representation of England, or Galar, England, arguably the same. So for example, if we just flip the background, if we flip it vertically, and in theory then everything's in the right place, if that makes sense. So that's basically what I think is going on with the map. Another thing that I want to point out is the details in this map are mental. So I'll just kind of look around the map and kind of talk about it a bit. So this is obviously our starting town just here, and you can see obviously the starting town there. There's the house right at the edge. Now there's an interesting point that's been made, and I'm going to go into it in detail in another video. But apparently this river here, and I believe there's another one somewhere, or a mountain or something, or whatever. Apparently it lines up with the Galar region, which is interesting. So we'll have to look into that in another video. But I just thought I'd mention it. So we've got all these fields here. They got the start town. You've got the train, which actually people said runs to over here, but that's not true because that's a viaduct or an aqueduct. So I believe that it goes to here, which then leads you to these routes here, because otherwise there's no way of getting across the mountain pass. That here next to the lake is obviously the Professor's house. We've seen that in the trailer. So this first area is quite a small starter area, which means that the majority of the story is in this big area here, this expansive open area, across here, and then leading up towards the cities and the bigger metropolitan areas. So as you can see here, there's little houses here, little buildings. We go into the mountains up here, so I assume you go up to the top of this somewhere. Over here you can obviously go and see that big monument or whatever in the hillside and all the fields around there. There's a lot of canals and that sort of thing that we'll have to deal with and cross, so that's quite interesting. There's another train line from here, and I don't know if it's a train line as such. I think it's again an aqueduct, but it kind of goes across here. There's a house over here that we need to visit, and a little mine area here. There's obviously this big bit here, but I believe we might go around the back or kind of come through, and that could possibly be, I don't know, to be honest with you. It seems like a cave. Now the only thing is about this map is that this is London, but the thing is that I've been to a place called the Cairngorms, and in the Cairngorms there's literally a train that goes up the mountainside, but also Snowdon does it as well. So arguably this could be Wales and Snowdon very easily because of the train going up the mountainside. So that's another argument's sake. But you go through this big bit here, and obviously you've got the forest down here, so I don't know how you'd get into there. I believe it's through this little portal thing just there, and you know, you've got all this bit, and then down here you can see a Doug Trio's face, which is quite an interesting thing to keep note of. And up here I think is Alakazam as well on this tower. and there's a dragon face here. So there's lots of things that we are going to be seeing. For example, this beach as well. This beach is really clear, like weirdly clear. So I'm not sure if we discovered that area or not, but it'll be interesting to say the least. And this looks like literally it could be our Elite Four, which is really weird because I don't think they're making the Elite Four that big. But then again, this could be the Victory Road right here, and then this could be the E4, which would make sense in some ways. In other ways, probably not. But it's an interesting region to say the least. It's very, very open and expansive, I believe, from what I've seen. Like some of these big areas, like the Lake District, we've said, they're quite big. They're very, very big. And obviously the bits over here as well, all in the middle bit, really, really big. And some really nice details as well. There's like a little bridge going across. So that's a route going across from this town across to this way, across to this town, and then you go under. But then how do you get around there? You have to go like around and through here to go around that way, round. And the only way to get to this Portland town is to go up here. And then obviously moving on through, it's very difficult to kind of work out how the story is going to be. It's really interesting though to see the map in a bit of detail, you know. So I think that's what I'm going to say is the map of Galar, or Galar, or Galar. I don't know how you'd say it, but let me know in the comment section down below what you'd say. And I just think it's a really interesting region. It's very vertical, and obviously we start here at the bottom. We know that for a fact, and you end up over here at the top. So it's very much bottom to top. It's not even like you could go off and circle around the region. It's very much, oh, we'll start here and then we go off out and explore different paths. So I think it'll be a really interesting region compared to other regions, because obviously Kalos, you kind of went into Lumio City, back out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Sinnoh, you obviously went through Mount Coronet a few times across to the other side, two sides. Hoenn, you went around a big loop, to be honest with you. Same with Kanto, you kind of went across and round and then back on yourself to the start and back down and round. So that was another interesting one. I'm trying to think, Johto is very much one side to the other side. So it'd be interesting to see how this vertical way worked out. It'd be interesting, very interesting to say the least. But that's all I have time for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below and comment, let me know what you thought. Let me know if I missed anything, because I probably have, because I'm really, really bad at this game of naming things and working stuff out. So I might revisit this, probably not, but I might do in case I'm really, really wrong. And you guys can scrutinise me to hell and back if you want. So yeah, like I said, that's all I have time for. So I'll leave you with that thought on what you think the Galar region could look like, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another video. Peace.